an entire day or week in 3.5 minutes. I was there in the parking lot and then through the Pines and then in that room and then I went to the liquor store with him. Like, somehow he does that. What's going on out there, folks? I'm Don. Welcome to the channel, Rockin' the Country. We do mostly traditional. We do non-pop country music here. Some of it's neo-traditional. Jason Isbell in the 400 unit, for instance. Jason Isbell in the 400 unit song, Alabama Pines. Nobody requested this. I just decided the other night when I was scouting YouTube, I'm like, it's time to do another. And so I grabbed this one. It's one I haven't done. I don't know, what have I done? 8 or 10? I'm not sure. But I've done a number of Jason stuff. And the guy is genius. However you define it, the guy says stuff. I can never predict what his next line is going to be. There's nothing linear about his thought process or the way he constructs lyrics. If you haven't heard a Jason Isbell song, you'll see that in this song. And I've never heard it. I guarantee it, that's what's going to happen in the song. It won't go from point A to B to C to D to E to F. It'll be like F, Z, A, figure it out, come back, pause, go, and then in the end you'll be like, oh my God, what just happened? That's just my prediction, shall we say.
Well, I moved into this room, if you could call it that, a week ago. I never do what I'm supposed to do, hardly even know my name anymore. When no one calls it out, it kind of vanishes away.
Wow.
And I can't get to sleep at night, the parking lot's so loud and bright. The AC hasn't worked in 20 years, probably never made a single person cold. But I can't say the same for me, I've done it many times.
Oh.
Somebody take me home through those Alabama pines. You can't drive through Talladega on a weekend in October. Just head up north to Jacksonville, cut around and over, watch your speed in Bowling Springs. They ain't got a thing to do, they'll get you every time. Somebody take me home through those Alabama pines. Somebody take me home through those Alabama pines.
I wonder if Amanda's playing on this. I just got to pause. You know, artists like Tyler Childers, Jason Isbell, part of what makes them so good, so listenable, is that they throw themselves under the bus in these songs. Like, they don't try to protect themselves as though they're these perfect representatives of the human race as they're going through life. You know, Jason used the analogy of the air conditioner that probably never that didn't work and hasn't worked in 20 years, probably never kept anybody cold. And then he brought that into, you know, unlike himself, unlike myself. And you're like, oh my gosh, literal physical cold to metaphorical or analogous cold, emotional cold. But the honesty, you know, just, that's authentic.
If we pass through on a Sunday, better make a stop at Wayne's. It's the only open liquor store north, and I can't stand the pain of being by myself without a little help on a Sunday afternoon. Well, I needed that damn woman like a dream needs gasoline, and I tried to be some ancient kind of man.
Hold up. Jesus. Needed that woman like a dream needs gasoline. It needs to be ignited. A dream needs to be ignited. I don't know.
One that's never seen the beauty in the world, but I tried to chase it down, tried to make the whole thing mine. Somebody take me home through those Alabama pines. Somebody take me home through those Alabama pines. I've been stuck here in this town, if you could call it that, a year or two. I never do what I'm supposed to do. I don't even need a name anymore. When no one calls it out, it kind of vanishes away. No one gives a damn about the things I give a damn about. The liberties that we can't do without seem to disappear like ghosts in the air. We don't even care, truly vanishes away.
Jesus. Man, that is just poetry. You know, all of us have done this. I made a point of doing it in my line of work. But you've experienced this at some point in your life where you remembered somebody's name. Maybe you met them once 6 months ago or a year or whatever, and you remembered their name. So when you ran into them in the supermarket or at the gas station or wherever, you were like, hey, Eileen, or, hey, John, or whatever. And they're like shocked that you remembered their name. Like, people like their name remembered. And I know in my business, I made a point of remembering not just my clients' name, their husbands, wives' names, their children's names, grandparents, if I make a point. And it was a concerted effort. And the people were just stunned that I remembered their names. There's something about your name being remembered. We're called it from a young age, from our parents and our siblings and friends and teachers and all that. And he just said it, as only Jason can. I've never heard anybody put it this way. Not just about names, but the way he words things, but just that, there's nobody there to call my name out anyway. And then in the end, it was, I think he said something like, it doesn't matter anyway. Everything's vanishing anyhow. The part about gasoline to the dream, he needed that woman like gasoline needed a dream. That could be a good thing or that could be a bad thing. I'm guessing in this context it was a bad thing because he's all by himself in some hotel room that's got these bright parking lot, which is annoying at night, by himself, lonely, in Florida, but he wants to get back to the Alabama Pines. Maybe that's where she's from. Maybe that's where she is. And now he's just alone and there's nobody to help out. He had to get some alcohol. I don't know. Is Florida a dry? I was in Florida and I forget. I think you could buy certain things on Sunday, but certain counties, I'm sure, are still dry on a Sunday. But he was able to get something at a place called Wayne's. Now I got to rate this thing. Lyrically, this guy's unbelievable. 9.5. With the way he captures concepts. There's nothing linear. Oh yeah, I said that in the beginning. There's nothing linear about, and yet in the end, you're like, good God, what did I just experience? I just experienced an entire day or week in 3.5 minutes. I was there in the parking lot and then through the pines and then in that room and then I went to the liquor store with him. Like, somehow he does that. And he doesn't just talk about it, he brings you into it. Whee! That wasn't recommended, guys, so shout out to me, and that's the ball game. Have a great day. I'll see you in another video and keep rocking the country.